Welcome to the course Design of Reinforced Concrete Structures. In this lecture, we are going to see the analysis of doubly reinforced beams. So, what is a doubly reinforced beam? We have already discussed. Doubly reinforced beam is a beam in which both you will have the compression reinforcement as well as the tensile reinforcement. So, first let us draw a doubly reinforced beam. So, for a doubly reinforced beam, what do you have? You have reinforcement provided in the tensile zone and as well as the reinforcement it is provided in the compression zone. So, let the breadth of this particular section be B and the effective depth from the topmost compression fiber to the tensile steel be D, the overall depth let it be D, and the distance from the topmost compression fiber to the reinforcement which is provided in the compression zone, okay, be D dash, and let this be the neutral axis XU. So, this is how a doubly reinforced beam will look like. Now, in the analysis of doubly reinforced beam, you are going to assume that this doubly reinforced beam is made up of two beams, beam A and beam B. So, this is beam A which is considered as a singly reinforced beam considering the balanced condition plus a beam B which consists of reinforcement in compression and tension zone. That is, here what you are assuming is that this beam has only reinforcement present, there will be no concrete, only the reinforcement will be present in the compression as well as in the tension zone. So, a doubly reinforced beam is made up of a singly reinforced beam and a beam which consists of only the steel reinforcement in the compression and the tensile zone. Now, let us calculate the moment of resistance for this singly reinforced beam considering the balanced condition. So what are the equations for finding out the moment of resistance for a singly reinforced beam? The same equations are used here. So, mu limit, that is the limiting moment of resistance for this particular singly reinforced beam can be calculated by using the equations 0.36 FCK B into XU limit into D minus 0.42 XU limit. As here we are considering the balanced condition. In place of XU we are substituting XU limit. So, this is the equation for finding out the limiting moment of resistance with respect to concrete. Now, let us find out the moment of resistance with respect to steel. So, mu limit with respect to steel can be calculated by using the equation 0.87 Fy into AST into D minus 0.42 XU limit. So, by using this equation, you can calculate the moment of resistance, that is the mu limit with respect to steel. So, these are the two equations for calculating the limiting moment of resistance for a singly reinforced beam considering the balanced condition. So, what I have told you that the doubly reinforced beam, it is made up of a singly reinforced beam and a beam B which has only the compression and the tensile reinforcement. So, first we are considering the singly reinforced beam here and we are calculating the limiting moment of resistance with respect to concrete and with respect to steel. So, now what we have to do? We have to compare the mu, that is the factored moment and the limiting moment of resistance. So, both the factored moment as well as the limiting moment of resistance has to be compared. If the value of mu exceeds mu limit, that is if the value of factored moment, if it is greater than the limiting moment of resistance, then what you have to do? You have to design for a doubly reinforced beam. If mu is greater than mu limit, then you have to design for a doubly reinforced beam. Now what? If mu exceeds mu limit, then what you have to do? You have to design for a doubly reinforced beam. So, why you have to design for a doubly reinforced beam? Because the moment here is more than the limiting moment. So, there is an additional moment which has to be resisted. Now, let us find out the additional moment which has to be carried. That is mu2. The additional moment which has to be carried is taken by the couple in between the reinforcement which is present in the compression zone and the steel reinforcement which is present in the tensile zone T2, and the compressor force is, here it is C2. Now let us calculate the moment 2, the additional moment. Here it is the additional moment. So first we will find out the additional moment with respect to steel. It will be 0.87 Fy into AST. So this is nothing but the force into the perpendicular distance. So if you consider this particular beam B, so what you will have here? Here you will have the compression force, and here you are going to have the tensile force. So the tensile force will be the same, that is 0.87 Fy into AST. But what will be the lever arm here? Lever arm here is nothing but the distance between the compression steel and the tensile steel, that is the steel present in the compression zone and the tension zone. So how you will calculate this distance, that is the lever arm? You already know. What is the distance from here to here? It is D, that is the effective depth, and the distance from the topmost compression fiber to the center of the reinforcement in the compression zone is D dash. So D minus D dash will give you the distance between these two reinforcement, which is nothing but the Z, it is lever arm. So the moment is 0.87 Fy AST into D minus D dash, that is the lever arm. Now let us find out the additional moment Mu2, force into the lever arm, that is the perpendicular distance, that is Z, that is the lever arm. So what will be the force here? So what the beam will consist of? This imaginary beam doesn't consist any concrete. It has only the steel reinforcement which is provided. So the moment will be FSC minus FCC. So what is FSC? FSC is nothing but the stresses in the compression reinforcement. So let me write it down here. SC is nothing but the stresses in compression reinforcement. So what is force? Force is nothing but stress into area. Okay. So the FSC is stress in the compression reinforcement, that is the stress in this, minus FCC. So what is FCC? FCC is the compressive stress in concrete at the level of compression steel. That is what I have told you, that this doubly reinforced beam is assumed to be of two beams. One beam as a singly reinforced beam and the other beam as a imaginary beam which consists of only the steel reinforcement. So if you will consider the total of FSC here, previously in this particular singly reinforced beam you have considered the concrete here. So for that reason what I am doing is I am removing the compressive stress in concrete at this reinforcement. So steel reinforcement, here we have already considered that there is amount of concrete. So that particular concrete is removed at these particular steel. So that is the reason why I have written it as FSC minus FCC into the area. So area in the compression steel, I am writing it as ASE into the lever arm. So what is the lever arm here? That is D minus D dash. considering the tensile steel, the additional moment mu2 can be calculated by using the equation 0.87 Fy into AST into d minus d dash, and considering this one is by considering the tensile steel, and by considering the compression steel, the additional moment mu2 can be calculated by using the equation FSC minus FCC into AC d minus d dash. So, these are the two equations for calculating the additional moment considering the tensile steel and the compression steel. Now, here what you have to do, you have to know the values of FSC and FCC. Now, let us see how we can calculate the values of FSC and FCC. So, here what I will do is, I will draw the strain profile which we have already seen in our previous lectures. So, the maximum strain in the topmost compression fiber will be 0.0035 and maximum strain here will be 0.002 plus 0.87 Fy by ES. This will be your neutral axis. For suppose, let this be your XU limit. The compression reinforcement is provided somewhere here where the strain is not known. So, let ESC be the strain in the compression steel. So, first let us find out the strain here. So, for finding out the strain here, let us consider the similar triangles. So, the distance of this steel in the compression zone from the topmost compression fiber, let it be d dash. So, considering the similar triangles. So, this similar triangle. So, how can you write it down as 0.0035 divided by XU limit is equal to ESC divided by this distance, which is XU limit minus d dash. So, from this you will get a equation of ESC as 0.0035 into d dash x. So, from this what you can do is, you can find out the strain value. So, based on the d dash and based on the XU limit, that is for different grades of steel, you will get different values of ESC. We have two unknowns here. So, what are the two unknowns here? One unknown is FSC and the other unknown is FCC. Now, we have to calculate both these, that is the stresses in the compression steel and the stress in the concrete, okay, that is the compressive stress in the concrete. So, these two is what we have to find out. So, for finding out these two, we have already calculated the ESC value. We have seen how to find out the ESC value. So, how you will find out the ESC value? 0.0035 into 1 minus d dash by XU limit. So this equation we have derived now itself. So from this equation, for the strain values, you have to calculate the FSC and the FCC value. Now for any value of ESC, the FCC is taken from the stress strain curve of concrete. Why here we are considering the stress strain curve for concrete? Because FCC is nothing but the compressive stress in concrete. So for any value of ESC, the FCC value you can calculate by using 0.45 FCK. That is the design stress in concrete, which is already given in your stress strain curve for concrete in IS 456-2000. So FSC can be calculated by using 0.45 FCK. Now let us find out FSC. So FSC. So FSC can be calculated in two ways. So one way of calculating FSC is from the stress strain curves for steel reinforcement. So one way how you can calculate the FSC, by taking into consideration the stress strain curves for steel reinforcement, which is given in IS 456-2000. And the other way of calculating FSC is you can calculate it from SP16. There is a code which is SP16, in which you will have a tabular form for D dash by D, the different grades of steel, and the FSC values. So from that particular SP16, that is the table F, in table F of SP16, you can get the FSC values for different grades of steel based on the D dash by D values. From any of the two ways, you can calculate the FSC value. So now let us see how we can calculate the FSC value by considering the stress strain curves for steel reinforcement first, and later we will see how we will calculate the FSC value by considering the D dash by D value. So for any values of strain, if the grade of steel is 250, that is Fe 250, if the grade of steel is 250, is what it is? Mild steel. Then the FSC value can be calculated by using the equation 0.87 Fi. So for any values of strain, if the grade of steel is 250, that is if you consider the mild steel bar, then the FSC value can be calculated by 0.87 Fy. Then for Fe 415 and Fe 500, that is for the HYSD bars. How we will calculate the FSC value? So for different values of strains, the stresses in the steel, that is the stresses in the compression steel, are going to vary. That is, for each value of strain we will have different FSC values. So first we will consider the stress strain curves for HYSD bars, which are given in IS 456-2000. So based on that, by taking an example, we will find out the value for FSC. Now, by considering the stress strain curves for HYSD bars in IS 456 2000, we are calculating the FSC value. So, if you observe the stress strain curve for HYSD bars in IS 456 2000, you will have different stress levels in terms of yield which are plotted in the graph. So, for example, I am taking one stress level as 0.8 Fy. You will have stress levels from 0.8 Fy to Fy. You will have 0.85 Fy, 0.9 Fy, 0.95 Fy. Different stress levels in terms of yield will be there in the stress strain curve for HYSD bars. So, from this we are going to calculate the strains and stresses for the two grades which are there in HYSD bars. For suppose here if I will consider the grade of steel as Fe415. So, considering the grade of steel as Fe415, here I am going to find out the strain and the stress values. So, here you will get the FSC values. So, here it is the strain ESC values. So, here what is the stress level? It is 0.8 Fy. So, Fy here is what? Fy is here nothing but the grade of the steel. Okay. So, but while designing, we have discussed in the previous sections, that is while designing what you have to consider, in place of Fy you have to consider 0.87 Fy. So, it will be 0.8 into 0.87 Fy. So, Fy how much it will be? It will be 415. So, substitute the value 415 in this particular Fy. Then you will get a stress value of 288.7 Newton per mm square. So, then correspondingly you can calculate the strain. So, how can you calculate the strain? Strain is nothing but stress by Young's modulus or modulus of elasticity. So, what is the modulus of elasticity for steel? It is 2 into 10 to the power of 5 Newton per mm square. So, calculate strain. 288.7 divided by 2 into 10 to the power of 5 will give you the strain value. So, if you do that, you will get a value of 0.00144. In the similar way, what you can do is, for different stress levels, you can calculate the stress and the strain values for Fe415 grade. In the similar way, you can calculate it for the Fe500 grade also. So, for 500 grade, in place of Fy here as 415, you are going to substitute 500 and you are going to get the strain and the stress values. So, for different stress levels, you are going to get a set of strain and stress values for different grades of steel. So, if after getting the strain and the stress values, all the strain and the stress values has to be tabulated, and whenever you want to find out the FSC value, okay, what you can do is, for suppose if you have got the strain value, that is ESC value as 0.00144, then what you can do, directly you can take the FSC value as 288.7 Newton per mm square. If you have got a value, that is, if you have got some value like an intermediate value, then what you have to do is, you have to go for linear interpolation. So, this is one way how we can find out the value of FSC by considering the stress strain curve for HYSD bars, which is given in IS 456 2000. Now, let us see the other way of finding the FSC value by considering the d dash by d value. Now let us calculate the FSC value by considering the d dash by d value. So this particular table will be present in your SP16 table F. So for different d dash by d values, that is from 0.05 to 0.20 of d dash values for different grades of steel, 250, 415 and 500, the FSC values are given here. Okay, so if the grade of steel is 415 and if the d dash by d value what you have calculated from here, okay, is 0.10, then the FSC value will be 350. That is, if the d dash by d value is 0.10, if you have calculated from here, that is d dash is nothing but the effective depth from the topmost fiber to the compression reinforcement, and d is the depth, effective depth from the topmost compression fiber to the tensile reinforcement. If the value, if you have got it as 0.10, if the grade of steel what you are considering there, if it is 4 and 5, so how can you get the FSC value? So for 0 d dash by d value of 0.10, and if the grade of steel is Fe 4 and 5, what is the value here? The FSC value will be 353 Newton per mm square. In this way, by the d dash by d values from the table which is given in SP16 table F, you can find out the FSC values. So if you get any intermediate values of d dash by d values, then you have to go for the linear interpolation. So by interpolating, what you can do is you can get the FSC values for the intermediate values. Now we will calculate the additional tensile steel. So the additional tensile steel AST2 is calculated by considering the equilibrium by equating the forces in compression C2 and the tension T2. So by equating into AST2. So from this what you can do, you can calculate the additional tensile reinforcement. AST2 is equal to FSC minus FCC into AC divided by 0.87 Fy. So the total area of steel AST will be equal to AST1 plus AST2. So now let us calculate the total moment of resistance. The total moment of resistance with concrete failure, that is in concrete failure, we will now calculate the total mu. So what we have discussed, it consists of, or it comprises of two beams, right? We have calculated one moment of resistance for this and the other moment of resistance, that is mu2 for this and the mu limit for this. So now the total mu will be what? Will be equal to, what is mu2? It is ASC into FSC minus FCC into D minus D dash. So from this you will get the total moment mu in concrete failure. In the similar way, we will find out the mu in tension failure. So how can you find out the similar way? Add both the moments with respect to steel, that is the tension failure. It will be 0.87 Fy into AST1 into D minus 0.42 XU limit plus 0.87 Fy into AST2 into D minus D dash. So this will be your total moment mu in tension failure. Okay. Now you can calculate both the moment from these two equations. So in analysis of doubly reinforced beams, you have to calculate both the moments, that is with respect to concrete and with respect to steel, and out of these two moments you have to consider the minimum value, that is minimum of MUC and MUT has to be considered in the analysis of doubly reinforced beams.